welcome to Have a Chat. I'm Audrey Lynch with my beautiful co-star Judy Loge. Hello, Judy.
Nice being with you today, Audrey.
Yeah, happy Monday.
Yes.
Yes.
We're gonna pretend we're just
pretend
wild
the
and
sun
perky.
is just beaming out there. But
yep.
I'm afraid it's not. It's
No.
actually very, very heavy rains today.
Yes.
Looks very torrential.
Cold.
Cold. It's cold right now. It's supposed to go to plus 14
Good.
with high winds, but I just drove in and the puddles are like rivers.
Yeah,
they're deep.
Yes.
They're deep. And with the pothole season going on and everything, be very, very careful out there driving.
I know.
If you've got to be on the road today, it's almost, can be just as bad as a snowstorm out there. People are actually driving quite slow and quite cautious.
They have to.
Yep, they
and
do.
April showers bring May flowers, so we'll keep that as
I'm
our
hoping
foremost thought.
the river will open. We live on the
Yes.
beautiful Miramichi River here, and there's little different spots along the river that people are posting on Facebook that things are starting to open.
Optimistic.
And yeah, very, very. And then hopefully the snowbanks, which were
massive.
Yes. I can actually see my neighbor's house now.
I was walking my dog 2 days ago, and there were still banks in front of some of their homes. I couldn't even wave to them, so this will go. This will go.
That's just it. We've got a few rainy days this
Yes.
week. And we have Easter coming up. Easter, big long
Beautiful
weekend.
celebration.
Yes, it is a big celebration for sure. My kids, I leave on Friday, taking the kids down to Cuba.
Oh, Audrey,
so.
I hope you get a tan. Come
jealous.
back.
I think she's a little jealous there.
I am jealous. Snow White versus this lady.
I can hook you
Yes,
up.
that's
I can hook you up with
beautiful.
some
No,
products,
it's nice that you can tan like that. You'll have
but
a beautiful.
To get out in the sun and the beach and just,
it's
rejuvenate and, get back to,
fabulous.
Yeah, it will be.
Feel
The
like, yeah,
kids
that
are
you
really,
can't
really
wait.
excited. They haven't been in, we took them on one big family trip 5 years ago.
So nice.
And so Denis was only 10 then. So she's 15 now, and we did some shopping, picked up some sundresses and flip-flops and sunscreen.
She's all packed.
Yes, I think, actually, if I'm not mistaken, she might be.
I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
I really am.
No, we're definitely looking forward to it.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So talking about Easter, we were going to talk and share a few of our memories about Easter of when we were little and our children themselves. What we did. Is there something that you wanted to share?
Well, first, did you want to do the quote?
Oh, yes. I forgot
Let's do
all
the
about
quote.
that. Oh, my goodness.
Because we're trying to be uplifted on this very...
yes, because it's your turn.
That's okay. I just had it ready for you, and then we'll get back to the Easter.
Okay.
Okay. Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. Happiness is a spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. And that is by the fantastic Denis Waitley, who I have admired for many, many years. He's an American author. He's a motivational speaker. He does audio tapes on various subjects, but he is also inducted into the International Speakers Hall of Fame. He's very good to listen to, and I want our viewers to know just how fabulous he is, so I was suggesting that if they go to their computer and Google the secrets to a long and fulfilling life, you'll be amazed at just what he has to say.
Oh, you're kidding.
Very
you said
inspiring.
you went online and you watched it. And he's very charismatic. And
yes. Some of his books over the years have been very inspiring. So I thought, I want to hear him verbally, and so I Googled his name.
I think that can make a huge, huge difference, especially if you get a chance to see them visually and hear them speak. Then when you go on to read other books or other things that they've written, you can picture them and hear their voice and get a better sense of what it is they're saying.
Well, just one thing he said that sticks with me is that, even if you're 40, 50, 60, 70, go back to the things that you loved to do when you were 7, 8, 9.
Oh, really?
Yes, like if it was drawing or dancing or hanging out with your friends, just to
never forget those things.
But bring them to life again.
Oh,
so as an adult, you don't have to go crazy, but incorporate some of those things that you gave up, whether it's finger painting, whatever.
Right.
He just said bring it back and to do things that really, really make you happy inside.
No, exactly.
But that's just a little blurb from him.
That's a beautiful quote.
So it's
Judy,
The Secrets to a Long, Fulfilling Life by Denis Waitley, if you Google that.
Yeah, Google him, definitely, for sure. So getting back to the Easter, the long weekend coming up, and we're going to share a few memories. Now, can we think way, way, way back to when we were little?
Okay, I'm old, Audrey, but I can still think.
I'm like trying to remember. I'm the oldest of 4 children.
I am too.
And there was 3 girls and then my baby brother. And for me, the one Easter that sticks out, and I'm not sure specifically why, because I'm trying to think exactly, but I can remember getting up one morning and just being in awe because on the kitchen table were 3 like doll carriages, like white plastic that looked weaved, doll carriages, like those old-fashioned ones, filled with the straw and I'm not sure if there was a doll in it or if it was just filled with Easter candy, but the display of it itself was just
Your mom did that. You thought it was
she
the bunny?
Did.
The bunny?
Yeah, and I thought it was I still feel like I was young enough that I actually believed in the whole. And I just remember that being a memory that I won't forget that Easter morning.
Well, it's true. And I think mine, the first one that pops into my mind is when Saturday Night Fever hit no, that is John Travolta.
Okay.
Okay, the Bee Gees. The
movie?
Soundtrack and the Bee Gees and all of that, the album. Basically, when that came out, I was wild. Everyone in town was wild for those Bee Gees. I'm telling you, even though they've been around, for a long time before that.
They weren't hard to look at. No.
It was just that whole thing that they brought to life, like Staying Alive and all of that.
Yeah.
That was probably the name of it. I don't even remember. I remember getting a little blue boombox from the Easter Bunny.
Okay.
And sitting outside on a gloriously sunny day and playing that till I'm sure I drove the neighbors almost crazy.
Kidding. Oh, for goodness
And then
sakes.
it was different temperatures back then. We could actually sit out in a sundress and we played marbles and all of that stuff.
Marbles,
Those are my
I remember
memories.
that. Yeah, yo-yos and marbles. Marbles, yeah, I can remember getting those kinds of things.
Chocolate bunnies, of course.
Yeah.
Great childhood memory.
For me, I always used to take my Easter bunny and put him in the freezer.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I loved my chocolate, the hollow Easter bunnies, and to break it and to have that hard chocolate, that was a treat for me.
My husband does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does. He likes it in the refrigerator.
I'm not one of those ones
who
likes the chocolate to melt in my mouth and have it be real messy. I like
it just shoved in there, actually dripping all over my face. No. You can throw it at me if you want to.
Yeah. One of the other little memories I'd like to share is when my kids were little, because I turn around and had 4 children myself.
Yes.
I can remember a Easter bunny faux pas that happened one Easter. And the house that we used to live back in Napan, and it was a little 3-level split, so there would have been stairs going down into the basement and the stairs going up, and it was carpeted. And I remember taking some baby powder and putting it in a bowl, and I had cotton balls, and I went up the stairs, down the hall, making bunny tracks that night and leaving Easter eggs. And I had to put the Easter eggs in plastic because the dog would eat them otherwise or whatever. And the kids come down and they were absolutely fascinated until they come down around the corner, and there in the kitchen was the baby powder and the bucket and the cotton balls that I had left out. I was so tired I had forgot to put that away.
Bless your heart.
Kind of thing. And I'm like, oh, look at that.
As a parent, we do all those foolish things, don't we?
I remember my father saying, the Easter Bunny's not really smart, is he?
No, you are. But I remember one time being kind of overwhelmed by Easter. I had all these people coming to the house for Easter.
For dinner.
So I took out all the white mini eggs, and we still had snow, and I put them all outside in the snowbank. I said, kids, go find them.
Oh, my land.
Took them out.
Oh, my land.
They get out of the house, though.
Yes, that would get them some fresh air.
That's just cruel. That's cruel.
So those are our Easter memories.
Yeah, and how mean we really are.
Yeah, if you want to share any of your memories, you can easily go to our Have a Chat Facebook page. We'd love to see some maybe pictures of Easter, or you want to share a memory there. We'd love to, and we'll read it on air the next time we're on.
And my boys are both coming home for Easter. I didn't expect Evan to be getting away from his training, but he is coming home for Easter, and then Jansen's actually officially finished of his 3rd year and coming home on Thursday for the entire summer.
Yes, and my daughter's on her way home right now.
Makes it special.
So I'm just, be careful driving, heavy rain, hydroplaning.
Yeah.
No cruise control today, Clarissa.
No.
Just take your time.
We have some healthy tidbits here.
Yes, we do. We want to share some healthy thoughts. We each taking a category that we wanted to talk about and share with our viewers. And what did you have?
Well, one thing that I keep talking to people about, and they don't even necessarily like it, but I happen to love it. And if you could start to acquire a taste for it.
Okay, so this has to do with nutrition.
This
and
is
food.
an item of food. So it's sweet potatoes. A lot of people do not like them. However, I absolutely love them.
Okay.
What I do is basically cut them up like a French fry and just lightly coat at the pan in the oven. Put it on at 350 first of all with a little bit of light olive oil.
Right.
And then just a little bit of pepper or seasoning on them. I'm not with salt much, but just maybe a dash here and there over the potatoes. Cut them up like French fries. Lay them on the pan, 350 until they're crispy enough that you can keep flipping them. They have that nice texture. But the benefits of sweet potatoes are
I think they're like
vast.
so hugely packed with nutrition. It's
They
over and
are.
beyond.
So let me
you
share
you
with
tell
our
me.
viewers, and if you do like them, here is why you should continue to eat them. And if you don't like them, maybe you could start to slowly integrate them into your diet. They are highly nutritious, Audrey, as you said.
Right.
They're a great source of fiber,
Yes.
vitamins, and minerals.
Okay.
They promote gut health. So all our digestion
Right.
system, like our stomach and our intestines and all of that, pancreas, all of that, it does promote good gut health. The fiber and antioxidants in sweet potatoes are advantageous, which we just said, because it breaks down all the stuff and helps produce your food the right way and get it through your tract the proper way. It maintains water balance in the body, sweet
Okay.
potato. Research shows that they have cancer-fighting properties.
Oh, nice.
Nice to hear. Supports healthy vision.
Yeah,
That's why I'm
as
wearing
we
glasses. I should
put
start
our
eating more
glasses
potatoes.
away. Yep.
They may enhance brain function, so I'm going to keep eating
Oh,
more.
okay.
More and more. It helps support your immune system. Sweet potatoes do provide relief from arthritis, and they aid in curing stomach ulcers. Now, isn't that
My land.
quite a
That's-
list?
Yeah, that is quite the list for one vegetable.
One.
No,
Yeah, it's
it
one
is. It is.
piece of food.
So that's your healthy tip.
And I absolutely love
To
sweet
add
potato.
sweet potatoes to your diet.
Yes.
Somehow, some way, within a week.
And they are carbs, so people say, "Oh, I don't want any more of those carbs."
No.
However, if
they're
you
a very complex carb though, and
Yeah.
if you're looking, I'm not going to lie because I don't eat potatoes.
don't
and I
eat
don't.
them?
No, I don't eat white or sweet potatoes, but I just because of my competition that I recently did, they did have to be introduced in those last
Right.
few weeks
Okay.
because everything else was being cut back to such a high level that when I would go to the gym, I needed to be able to have that energy source,
True.
and sweet potatoes was on my list. Now,
Yeah.
for me, initially to go into that, I had to start in small doses because I'm so carb sensitive now,
Okay.
being ketogenic.
Right.
So I have to ease into them, kind of thing, because it's not my norm.
No, and you know
Right.
what though? Sweet potatoes, like you said, are heavy and they're a carb, but they'll keep you fuller longer so that you're not
I don't
craving other
understand.
food. So you're not going to gain a whole
No.
lot of weight if you
No,
eat
no, no.
them.
No, no, no.
And you're satisfied. It's when you have a
Yeah.
little bit of something and your hunger is not
Yeah,
satisfied.
no.
You go to another food.
No, exactly. Your body actually turns it into a sugar. It's a glycogen.
That's right.
And that's the kind of energy that you need when you're actually going to lift weights as opposed
Yes.
to just doing cardio.
Right on.
You need to have that. And if you are going to lift a few weights, then the muscles are going to use it up and there isn't going to be any leftovers. So we're saying to eat some, not to sit down and eat a huge bowl.
Or every night.
And I truly don't understand why people don't like them, because for me, who don't eat them at all, when I got a chance to eat them, they were like candy.
I like them.
They
They're
have
nice.
that sweetness to them.
They do.
I
I
think
love them.
that's so yummy.
So everyone should go out and buy sweet potatoes today.
Okay. Yeah, the grocery store is going to be busy
Yes, it will
today for
be.
sweet. They'll be all sold out.
Do you have a tip for
I do.
hair or
I
skin?
do. No, we're going to talk a little bit about fitness.
Oh, fitness, okay.
The one thing that, and as a woman and being a little bit older and just staying active and busy and things like that, the one main tip that I'd like to share with everybody, women especially over 40, not to get off the cardio machine or anything else like that, but when you've done your cardio or save your cardio for later, my biggest thing to share that I've learned is go ahead and pick up that weight. It doesn't have to be the 25, 35, 40 pound weight.
2 or 3 pounds.
Yeah, the 5 or the 10,
Yeah,
and to
I'm saying
lift
2.
those weights. It's unbelievable the benefits that I notice in my skin, in my hair, in my muscle tone, just from, because I was a cardio queen too. I was like, once I got on it, I was like, ooh, you got a good sweat going on and you don't want to lose that. But when you go and lift a few little weights on top of that, that's what stays with you the rest of the day.
Good to know.
Not the cardio. The cardio is only working when you're doing it, right? That's the only time it works and helps. Lifting a few weights afterwards is what will stay with you for the next 24 hours.
I do lift very light weights, but
Yeah.
I do them repetitively.
Yeah,
So I might do
that's right.
10 of a 3 pound curl
10
and then
or 20
stop
of
it,
a lighter weight.
and
If
then
you're going to
do-
go heavier, then you don't have to do as many. So
Right.
you pick, right?
But it gets that endorphins kicking
Yeah,
in more
it does.
so and gets
It's
your body.
huge. Yeah, and like I said, my skin would be the biggest thing that
Well,
I
that's
noticed.
good to know.
Right, because when your muscles sort of get a little more toned and filled out, it pulls against the skin, and then the skin looks a lot nicer
Radiating.
and glower. Yep. for sure.
Beautiful.
That's my tip.
That's a good tip.
Definitely, definitely. We wanted to, before we go to break and bring on our guests and talk about our show, the Masters happened.
Yes,
right?
in Augusta,
The golf-
Georgia.
Golf. We're talking golf.
43 Masters of the golf, of course. 43-year-old Tiger Woods came back and he won his 5th victory at the Masters.
Okay.
So he had that green jacket on yesterday, which he was more than proud of because he said it was one thing to get back into the game after the slump he had, let alone to win. It was huge for him.
Yeah.
You know, in 1997, he was at the top. He was the king of the...
Was that when that was?
Well,
1997 in the... Because we know who Tiger Woods is.
Yeah,
and big golf pro.
But for years after that, he stayed, quite at the top or near the top.
Right.
But then he had the big crisis in 2009 where his marital life went kapush and his...
it was a rocky road there.
He had a really, really rough time.
Yeah.
And he went through rehabilitation. They talked about his weakness for women. I don't know, they call it sex addiction. People say that there's no such thing as sex addiction. I believe that there is. I believe that, like gambling, I believe propensity towards alcohol, drugs, or whatever. I think he fell into that category of an insatiable sexual desire, and I think he needed treatment for that. I personally do. That's just me talking.
No, exactly. So is this his first year back?
This is his first big win in about 14 years.
Yeah, because I don't think he ever truly stopped golfing.
No, but he had some really poor years.
Because he did some, he played and did poorly.
But it's about 14 years ago since he did this well, and he's almost up to Jack Nicholson.
Well, how old
Jack
would he
Nicklaus
be?
Now? He's 43. Tiger Woods is 43.
He's 43. Okay, so when he was doing really, really, really well he was young.
He was very young. He's aged. You can see visually how he's aged too.
Right, exactly.
But I'm proud of him, and his kids, he said, were his main.
That's right too. He had children.
He has
at the
children.
time.
He has children that were there the day that he won the title.
Okay.
So I think Jack Nicholas is 18 as far as placing goes in the top career makers, and he's at 15 now, so he's catching up to Jack
nice.
Nicholas.
No, that's exactly. Well, we wish him the best of luck and congratulations to winning the
big
Masters.
accomplishment for him.
Nice green jacket for
Yes,
him.
yes.
Definitely. We have more Have a Chat coming up after the break. We have a couple of fabulous guests joining us. You're not going to want to miss it, so stay tuned. We'll be back with more Have a Chat after the break. We're back with more Have a Chat. Joining us now are our first guests. We have Clarissa Harris Lebreton and Lisa Mitchell. Hello, ladies.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Nice to see you back. It's been a while.
It has.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, we're together now. We used to be separate.
Yeah, we've had you each on your own, and now
Yeah.
we've got you as a team. And there's a reason for that we have you together here today.
Yeah.
But first, we're going to give us a little information on who you are. So in case there's anybody out there, our viewers, because our viewer actually spans quite a distance now.
yes.
It's not just little old Miramichi that's watching us.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, right now I'm a little devastated because of the whole Easter Bunny story. So I'm like, what?
Don't say if there's snow, don't put the white eggs up for your kids. Don't be as mean as I was.
No. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're telling everybody there's no Easter Bunny. I'll have a chat today.
But there is an Easter Bunny. Of course there is.
There is the spirit of Easter.
That's right. That's right. So I grew up here in Miramichi, left for 8 years, came back. Huge community lover, supporter of small business. That's what I'm here today to talk about my latest endeavor. Married, have one daughter and 4 stepchildren and a granddaughter now.
You do.
Oh, you're a grandma?
My, it's gotta be
You don't look old enough to be a nanny.
That's
I'm a
right.
grandma.
Oh, there you go.
That's what I would insist on
Yes,
too.
definitely. And
Perfect.
Lisa, darling.
Hi, girls. My name is Lisa Mitchell. I am the owner of Townhill Jewelry and Gifts. I'm also the president of the Newcastle Business Association. And giving back to the community that gives to my husband and I is an important part of our being.
And
that
you
we
do.
want, and we definitely think that's very important. And again, that is why part of the reason why we're here and what we've led into.
That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So you are going to, now you girls are, have to do with, I don't know exactly what your roles are, but StartUp Miramichi. Tell us what that is.
Okay,
Who
so I'll
wants
give
to
a
start
little
with
bit of
that?
a background. So back in, Startup Miramichi is an initiative out of a national organization called StartUp Canada.
Okay.
And their vision is to empower entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So back in March of 2017, the concept came to the province. There's only 52 startup communities across Canada, and we have 12 in the province of New Brunswick.
All
and
right.
we're one.
Wow.
Oh my.
really?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Impressive.
So we went to a meeting in March 2017. A crew of us from Miramichi kind of were thrown this idea. We decided to apply to receive a startup community status, and we received it in August 2017. And we had to kind of create a vision and a mission. So our vision was to build an entrepreneurial Miramichi, to really get the entrepreneurs like Lisa in our community to see themselves and yourself, Audrey, as the heroes of our community.
Yeah, which you are, and
Right.
they are.
You're the ones who are going to build the economic development.
True.
So we started on that, and we took a three-pronged approach. One, to build awareness around what we were trying to do.
Okay.
Two, to educate those interested on how to start.
Okay.
And provide them with tools and resources to do that. And the third, which is the big one, which is what we really want to talk about today, is to build a collaboration center where entrepreneurs could find a home.
Perfect.
So which kind of enter into the Startup Miramichi Co-working Center, which was born in October.
Yay.
Yeah.
I know, because when I think back, I'm like, where was all of this when I was having to do
Yes.
all my research
Yeah.
Right?
and everything on my own, to
Absolutely.
a business name, to all the rules and regulations, to starting and to borrow and to, you know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
like Googling everything, trying
Absolutely.
to figure out and talking to other business people to, you know,
Yeah.
where to get all that information and where to get started, right?
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen it as a huge plus. And so startup communities are made up of really two types of people, community enterprise partners and entrepreneurs. So Lisa being the entrepreneur, so we're co-leads. We've taken that co-lead situation. We're the only startup community in New Brunswick that has a co-lead situation.
Oh, that's great.
Which is awesome. Because of my role with NBCC's Oasis program,
Yes.
it allows me to be a community enterprise partner on this project.
Right.
So that's why I'm still with NBCC. I'm still supporting entrepreneurs there. This just allows me to kind of get involved in this project, and I'm so happy to have Lisa as my co-lead.
You work well together.
Yes.
I know you would.
We're going to live in an old folks home together.
And the new one. Have you seen the guests that we had those people on too, and we seen the inside of the Shannix. It's
Yeah.
going to be
And
stunning.
Audrey and I'll bring chocolate
Yeah.
bunnies to you when you're in the home.
Okay. Yeah.
And we really do work well together. Things are happening, and the co-working center is ready to open. Fingers crossed in May.
Okay, so exactly what is the co-working center?
All right.
Let's get
So
to that part.
The co-working center is a space where independent contractors or small business or growing business that maybe don't necessarily need office space right now, or maybe they have office space and they just need to get out into a different environment. Maybe you work alone, maybe you're an independent,
Okay.
let's say you are in independent sales and you're just tired of working at home and you need some energy and some collaborative, stimulated workspace. Well, that a co-working center is for you, and it's fantastic. So when you come in, there's an incubation space. We like to call it the bumping space, which is the common room. and-
Okay, I'm like,
right. So
Yes.
it's where everyone's going to be doing their thing in a common area.
Right.
But then there's also boardrooms and call rooms that you can book out if you need to meet clients,
Right.
or if you need to do some private,
paperwork.
yes, or some
I'm like,
calling.
I was in there thinking, I don't have at my salon a specific designated area or office space. the front desk is the front desk, and so of course it's tax season, and I'm trying to get myself all organized, and I look at, and I'm just like,
there's no staff room as such.
and I'm like, I'll just pack it all up, and I tend to take it home, and then I take over the entire dining room for
Sometimes,
a week.
Audrey, it's nice to get away from those four walls.
That's just it.
And
right?
so that's what a co-working center is.
And is this
Okay.
established, this location
We
already?
are at 20 Fountainhead Lane,
Okay.
and that's over the Goodie Shop.
Okay,
All the
Newcastle.
locals
For anybody
know.
who doesn't know where
Yeah.
the
So
Fountainhead
it's
Twenty
Lane
Fountainhead
Miramichi West,
Lane.
we'll establish Miramichi
Miramichi
West.
West, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we've already grown. So we took Suite 1, and then we realized that we have such a demand for this co-working center that we've already expanded into Suite 2. So
We
we've
have 2860 square feet, so 2,860 square feet.
Yeah.
Right? So if we take you as an example, Audrey, you would have access to come in. So it is a membership based.
Okay, because that's where I was like, so
right?
what does that cost
Right.
me to be able to use
Right.
this space?
So we do have a membership rates, but we will have daily drop-in rates. And the
Okay.
daily drop-in rates would be, for people who, say, oh, I just need to get out, and today would be a good day to go.
Yeah.
So you would just be able to come in, pay a daily drop-in fee, and be able to work there for the day. So
Right.
I always say a hot desking area, and a lot of people don't realize what I mean by hot desking area because these terms are so new to Miramichi because
Right.
it's our first ever co-working center, right? So hot desking means that at any given day you're going to be at a different desk. So there's no ownership.
No, exactly.
Right? So
Yeah.
today I'm
Moving
working
around.
here, tomorrow I might be working over there,
Yeah.
and the next day I might be working over there.
Whatever desk is available
Right,
at the
you
time
just
when
go
I
in,
land there.
sit,
Yep.
and then you take things with you when you go. So there's no
Yeah,
like
you
I'm
don't
leaving
leave.
this here.
No. Yeah.
Then when you're there for the day, you're working along at a desk, and then you're like, oh, I need to take a private phone call. You can book out. If the call rooms are available, you can be able to book out the call rooms. So you'll have access to that as a member and
Right.
as your daily drop-in fee. The reason why we decided to do the daily drop-in is because for people who come into the area, and if they're just sitting around, maybe they're working in their car in between meetings or things like that, they can be able to drop in and be able to work from the
It's
center.
a really good thing to be
Yeah.
able to do that. My
Yeah.
sister, for example, has a taste box company in Toronto. When she's home visiting the Miramichi, it's not ideal to be at my parents' house
That's right.
or our house working. It's
She's a
distracting.
perfect candidate
She is
for the Miramichi
That
Startup
would be
Co-working
something
Center.
Jennifer would have loved and will love when she
Yeah.
comes back to visit.
Yeah. And
Beautiful.
so we'll have access to Wi-Fi services, printing services will be
Right.
there,
All necessary.
kitchen services.
Oh.
So yeah, lots of great.
Bring your own lunch.
Yeah. Well, it's a perfect location because we do have
Yes.
we're surrounded by restaurants and
I
coffee
know.
shops, and so it is a perfect
What
location.
a great location. That's right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exciting. So,
Well,
Yeah.
no, go ahead.
no, you two took the lead. So, how many other people did you have to get on board, and how many roundtable discussions did you have to get this baby on its feet?
It was a long time coming, and we finally settled on a board of directors, which is mainly made up of entrepreneurs and business people of the area, which is a good mix of professionals and business people because the ideas that exchange between those two groups of people are energetic and explosive, and it's awesome. So we have a really good group of people. So we are a non-profit organization to have started this, and it probably took, well, a good year and a half to get to this
establish.
point. So we are, to date, the only startup community that has their own co-working center. So that's a
Oh,
big
wow.
deal.
That's a big
That's
deal,
a big
too.
deal for
I'm
us.
proud, and I'm
Yeah.
proud to see young entrepreneurs and business people moving into our area. It's such a draw to have these things in place.
And it's so important to have the co-working and entrepreneurial support center
Yes.
to support and educate
Totally.
and engage and network with these young professionals and entrepreneurs so that they have the stamina and the longevity to continue in Miramichi, and we become an entrepreneurial-based economy
Love
in
it.
Miramichi. It's so important.
It is beautiful. That's
So, as a business person, would I be able to just stop in and have a look around and
Absolutely.
see physically what
Yeah.
you have available?
Because
and
we're
what the
asking
space is
people, I mean, Lisa and I say this all the time, we're asking people to come on board and see the value that we know that we're going to provide, right? It's all
Right.
about providing value. So in February, we were trying to build something not knowing what people wanted. We
True.
did a lot of surveys
Yeah.
in the beginning and said, what would you want in a co-working center? And anything from dog friendly to free coffee come up. And
Oh, is it dog friendly?
No, it's
No, it's not.
but that's well, dogs assist would be able to support
Yeah.
dogs would be able to come in. But So, but it was just interesting that what people said that they wanted to see in a co-working center. But so in February 1st, literally the paint went, like we did some renovations and the paint was still wet. And we opened the doors, said, come on in. And our mayor, Adam Lorden, was there that day with me, and we were sitting working as you would in a co-working center. And we opened the doors at 12 o'clock and they started filing through. And at 5:45, Lisa came in and said, what's going on? And I was like, what time is it? And there was 102 people come through and would stay for like anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour, just talking about the services and what's. So we now see that people really are really looking forward to the service.
The numbers is there.
Mhm.
The
There's an
interest
interest.
is there. The need is there,
Absolutely.
and
And
you
you're
know,
providing
you have
that
those two
need.
things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there's some really important research on co-working centers. So
Oh, is there? Okay.
70% of the people who work in a home office say that working at a co-working center gave them more self-confidence.
I believe that.
I would be that person.
Yes, I
Right.
truly believe.
When I go there, I get more done. I'm more
Energy
focused.
from other people.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes.
93% say they feel less isolated, which, as you know, as an entrepreneur, it's
Yeah.
pretty lonely starting a
is.
business
No,
on your own.
exactly.
And you have
Yeah.
no one to kind of bounce
No, I
those
felt like I
ideas
was
off of.
bothering people, you know what I mean, to fire off messages and going, well, what'd you do for this, and who did you contact for that, and it was
So
just
the mentors are right there in the center. There could be
Exactly.
other entrepreneurs who are starting and giving their experience and sharing their ups and downs and trials and tribulations, which
Mutual
was so
support.
important for me.
Awesome.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
And then
90
there's those people who'd want their privacy too. So I'm assuming
Absolutely.
that section, if you're in that area, then people know not to bother you.
Yeah,
Right? That you're
absolutely.
looking to
There's-
get your work done and
Yeah.
Close the
you know what
door
I
in
mean?
a boardroom or a call
Right,
room
yeah.
and
Okay.
book it out for your
Yeah.
We
personal
do have
time.
a terms of reference as well, to make sure that all the members feel like, that they're safe and, safeguarded in their things. So,
Right.
so, we have those, in our membership agreements that will speak to that.
Right.
Just so that people, know kind of the
Understand.
etiquette of,
Yeah, the
those
etiquette
things,
of
right?
it. Yeah,
Someone
for
sitting with
sure.
earbuds in and working, you're not going to walk up to them and like wave
you
and
help
wave
me
and
with
wave and
this?
say,
Or-
hey,
yeah.
how did
Yeah.
you register your business? So there's
Just
some
don't
etiquette
do
there.
it.
So yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's
No.
very, very wonderful. Other perks to this. It's all exciting. It's all wonderful.
Absolutely. There's 81% report increased productivity than working in a home office. So you can't the numbers don't lie.
No.
So I'm very excited about this. I think it's necessary and it's welcome, and I wish I had this when I started my business.
I know.
Yeah.
No,
I
it's
wish
definitely
I
Me too. I
Everything.
used to own Yvonne's gym years ago. I owned it
Oh,
for
what?
yeah, I owned it for
What?
3 years. So I was on my
wow.
own with that. I
See,
was
you
the
learn
owner.
something
new
every time.
I owned it and operated for 3 years. So
you're
like I
kidding.
could have used your expertise in this center myself way back when.
No, for
And if
goodness
we
sakes.
don't know, we will be that support center that can team you
Get
up
you
with.
the answers.
Right,
Find you
right,
those-
right.
Yeah.
Find you those connections for funding or for paperwork
Yes.
Or
or for
even to
government.
know what's available to you, right? That was another big thing.
Me
like,
too.
well, why didn't you try for this or that? And I'm like, I didn't even know that existed.
Exactly.
That
Yeah.
this program was out there, or it was specifically for a woman starting a business. And
Yeah.
oh, this was here, but now it's gone. Like different stuff like that.
So we
Like,
feel that this will strengthen the entrepreneurship ecosystem that we have, in the city, because we have, like Lisa's involved in the Newcastle Business District, and then there's the city economic development department, and BIPI and women, and the chamber, and
Yeah.
downtown. Like there's so many. But what we're hoping is that every door will be the right door when
Right.
it comes to entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
So wherever they go in,
Okay.
CBDC, Northumberland, those offices, that we all be able to share a little bit of information with people so that they don't leave frustrated and just give up.
Right.
Because some
That's
people
just
have
it.
some really
'Cause
great
there's
ideas.
a lot of paperwork to CBDC
Very-
and things
yeah.
like that.
Innovative minds
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
No.
but it's to just encourage people to keep going.
Yeah.
And if you can kind of if I go back to the hero analogy, if when I think of myself as a community enterprise partner, the entrepreneurs go forth, and we should be the ones putting the capes on them and saying, go and be the heroes of this community and
Right.
employ people and
Okay.
and build that
Carry
economic
that torch.
development, right? So it's we're really, really excited.
I am too.
We have a really great board, and like Lisa said, we hope to be open in May. That's where our fingers
That's
are
your
crossed.
That's just
and
it. So I'm going to get you to touch on real quickly, because you had run through some other names of other things that are associations. Oasis. We have a couple of minutes
Yep.
left there. Touch on that, and is that part of you guys, or was?
right.
Or
So
how is it?
So I am the coordinator of entrepreneurship with NBCC. So I run the
Okay.
Oasis program across the province now.
Okay.
It's open across the
Because
province
that's
now.
a business startup type
So what it is, it's a small business mentorship program where
Okay.
we provide mentorship to businesses on tactical-based mentorship. So we match need to skill set.
Right.
Okay.
So Oasis will exist in the center.
And that's working well.
With
Within
mentorship,
it.
yes. And Oasis
Exactly.
was created here in Miramichi.
Right.
So that's why I'm involved, because I believe in this entrepreneurship ecosystem in the province. And as you know, as being there and I actually work out of co-working centers in Fredericton
Right.
and St. John. So that's why
Right.
I'm so excited, because I see the benefit to being
Exactly.
to the
Because at
co-working
first I
center.
was like, StartUp Miramichi, I'm like, don't we already have something like that up and running kind of thing? But
this
these
is
will
it.
coexist
This is a space.
together.
This is a
Exactly.
space.
This
And
is the actual
Oasis,
space.
Oasis will
Okay.
be in the space
In the
providing
space.
mentorship.
That's
You guys have done a
fantastic.
wonderful job, and I know you'll continue to do a
I'm
wonderful
sure you
job.
have a Facebook page, contact information just before we let you go.
Absolutely.
It's
Which is
the Startup Miramichi on Facebook, and startupmiramichi@gmail.com is our
Perfect.
email.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining us
Thank
today.
you, girls.
We'll be back
Thanks for having
after the
us.
break. Don't go away. We'll be here with more Habitat.
Thanks. Quite exciting.
And we're back with more Habitat. Joining us now are our next guests. We have John Stewart and Rob Mcgowan. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How are you today?
Not
Good
too
to be
bad.
with you, Audrey.
Little
Great
wet
to be
out
with
there,
you.
but
Thank you.
thanks for joining us today and
the two
driving
ladies?
in. Yes.
Now we got the two gentlemen.
Yeah, gotta have a balance.
Yeah, change
right?
it up.
Exactly, that's just it. Now, first of all, John Stewart, now you're the founder of Life Radio, which is
Yes.
one excellent
Love
radio
it.
station here in Miramichi.
So you listen.
I do.
Oh, we do listen.
Very
Every-
uplifting, very
Exactly.
spiritually uplifting, and good stuff. I love it.
Yeah,
Super.
exactly. That's just it. But first, we want you gentlemen to tell us a little bit about who you are. And we'll start with you, Rob.
I'm Rob Mcgowan from the area. I've been here a long time. I'm
Yes.
an artist. I've been on the show
You
before.
have been
I work
beautiful
on my
artist.
art. And, I've known Judy a long time through
Okay.
my daughter and plays and things they've done in music.
Same age as my son is exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met up with John and was doing some really good stuff. So I wanted to get involved.
Are you an
So-
artist too, John?
No.
No, you can't take claim
No,
to
I
that.
don't even draw stick.
Neither do I. Nice to meet you.
He knows where his talents lie.
Yes.
Right.
No, that's just it. So
Good.
tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was born here in the Miramichi, and that wasn't yesterday.
The
Okay.
day before.
Yes, and I've lived here most of my life, traveled a little bit from here, and established two churches in the community, River of Life Assembly and Miramichi Fellowship Center, and then we were involved in starting Life Radio
Right.
because we wanted to help the community, wanted to be involved in making the Miramichi a better place. And I see that you guys are involved in the same thing because I listened to your last interview and you're always building people up. And I'm really glad to be part of the. How long have you been doing this? Not that I'm the
Going
interviewer.
on 5
right?
years. Yeah.
5
Well, this
years.
is our 5th year. Yeah.
He's gonna
October.
interview us now.
I know. It's gonna swing right around here in a minute. Be careful. Stay in control. But yeah, we're going into our 5th season. Yeah. since
Okay.
October.
Well, together we're making the Miramichi a better place, aren't we?
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to build people up than break them down.
It
Yeah.
is. It
No,
is.
it's definitely a lot more
And-
rewarding and fulfilling
Yeah.
to be able to put a smile on somebody's face, and it's
Right.
really not that hard if you think about it.
That's right.
No.
And so Miramichi is growing all the time, getting to be a better place, and
It is.
Yeah.
we work together with you.
Now, you are the president of the Miramichi Adult Learning Program, and that's what you guys are here to talk to us about today. Yes.
Yeah, let me tell you a little bit about that. I've
Okay.
been involved. I know I look really young,
Oh, you really do. I thought I looked young until I met you. Wow.
but I've been involved for 30 years in working in literacy in the Miramichi River
Very
Valley.
important.
Okay,
And
literacy.
I'll tell you something about it.
Okay.
We've been working in literacy for 30 years. We've brought the illiteracy rate down a little. but not enough. I always used to say, it's kind of like we're bailing out the boat, but we haven't fixed the hole.
You're still
No,
still
that's
an
just it.
ongoing
You're always
project.
failing.
Right. And so if you don't fix the hole, the boat's always going to have some water in it.
Exactly.
Right.
So now we have come up with a concept to fix the hole. And the concept is called Cradle to Career. I'll let Rob tell you a
That
little bit.
sounds
I don't-
good.
Yeah.
Can I just
Cradle
ask,
to
though,
career.
in regards to literacy, I'm very much an advocate for literacy and promoting it. Is it true that 1 in 5% of New Brunswickers, which would be about 18.5%, are under they're illiterate or under the level of normal literacy skill?
Yes, that's true. And that's a sad thing.
It's a very sad thing.
I was involved, and I'll tell you why I say it's a sad thing. I was involved with Enterprise Miramichi, where we tried to get business to come to the area, and one of the
Right.
first things they look at is workforce.
Yeah.
When you look at
Their skill
workforce,
set and things like that.
Yes.
if you can't read, there's an awful lot of things you're
Wow.
going to struggle with doing.
Very
No.
limiting. Road signs,
Right.
newspapers, everything.
Can't make
No.
a cake.
No, you can't.
No, can't read the recipe or the ingredients. It makes it a little
Road
tricky.
signs.
Right.
Everything
Yes.
Yeah.
is affected.
That's just
It's
it.
amazing how much is involved in.
No, that's just
Being
it. So
able to
cradle
read.
to career. Now, is that where you come in, Rob? Now, because you're with when it comes to Life Radio, you're advertising and sales, correct?
Yeah.
And
we're-
that's what when you said you had met John and he was doing great things and you wanted to be a part of it. I'm assuming that's what you jumped
Yes,
in.
I take care of sales,
Okay.
but we're different. When it comes to sales with Life Radio, it's a different concept altogether.
Right.
We're not just about, it's not about making money, it's about improving our community.
Right.
So the Cradle to Career program is amazing. Like we have, there's apps now on the library, so kids can go on and take these apps and click them and hear these stories every night. So
Right.
we're getting parents involved. We're with all these schools, there's over 900 children, I believe, involved
Oh,
now.
wow.
And they're getting all these letters, and the parents are getting them to read each night, and they participate. We're throwing a big party for them through Life Radio.
Oh, you're
Great
kidding.
incentive.
Yeah, so right now, like a good year for library cards was 100. We've already got it up. They're getting 500 a year.
Oh, wow.
So that's a huge
Oh,
increase.
wow.
We got
Beautiful.
yeah, it's amazing just what's going on. And like John was saying, it's easy. The GED program, if we can get them, 5,000 people are not graduating, don't have their certificate each year. It's terrible in the Miramichi. So if we can get them reading before 3, because they're already 27%, they said, are not reading at a grade 3 level in grade 3.
Oh,
So if already they're failing, where are they going to be by the time they get to high school?
that's so
No,
true.
that's just
So
it.
we're
I'd
trying
have
to
to
fix
touch
it.
on the fact, because I have 4, and I have the 2 older ones and the 2 younger ones, and I'd have to say the 2 younger ones do struggle a little more than the 2 older ones. And of course, the biggest difference was the internet,
Okay.
right? And them having that stimulation that didn't require them to read or didn't, you know what I mean, as much kind of thing. Because initially, the older 2 things would come up and they actually had to read what was on the screen, and now they
True.
just have to click. They
Very
don't have
true.
to read anything.
Yeah, well, it's more, I think
So-
it's educating the parents. You know, it's easy to just put your kid on the game when you get home at night. We're busy,
No,
we're tired.
we're busy, yeah.
They're playing
trying
and you
to-
know,
yeah.
keep
Oh,
them
for
occupied.
sure. We're all guilty at some
But,
level of,
yeah.
you
So
know.
the educators must be thrilled, like
they're
just in our
loving it.
Anglophone district alone. They must be very excited about this program and what it's going to bring to these young children, like you said, under the age of grade 3 for the future.
Oh, yes.
The
We
teachers.
have the school board are heavily involved. In fact, what we're trying to do, we have several goals, but the first goal that we're trying right now is we want to get every person in our Miramichi region, and that's a pretty big region. It takes in First Nations people as well, and Anglophone and Francophone.
Right.
We want to get them all involved, and they are. And we want you to read a story to your children every night. Now, we realize it's not always easy because some parents don't know how to read. So we are putting a story on Life Radio every night at 7:30,
Right.
and we're bringing in artists from Atlantic Canada like Sherry Fitch,
Oh, awesome.
Wayne Curtis, and
Yes.
they're reading stories. Then we're having politicians involved. They're going to read some stories as well.
And radio hosts, we can go on and read.
You can, yes.
As TV hosts, we could do radio hosts
We'd
reading.
love for
Wouldn't
you
we,
to
Audrey?
do
I'm
that.
Well, when
volunteering
you
Audrey
hear a
and I.
voice, there's certain voices that you, like even they use specific actors
Yes,
because of their voice just to do that commercial or to
true.
read a certain paragraph. because it captures what is being said.
I would do that. I love to read.
Oh.
I read, so I'm just a voracious reader.
As soon as the show is over, we'll take you to Life Radio.
Okay.
Gonna drive
Okay.
Not
right
that I
over.
want to steal from Roger.
Yeah. No, but I would be happy to help you out. It's an amazing cause.
It is. It's a wonderful thing. And so because we feel that if you read a story to your children every night, they'll sooner or later want to learn to read.
I agree.
Right.
Because what happened, as Rob said earlier, is they tested kids in Miramichi in grade 3, and they weren't reading up to grade 3 level. 27% weren't reading up to grade 3 level. Now, what happens when that happens is by grade 9, they're done.
I know.
They're
Yeah,
2 grades
there is.
behind.
Yeah,
That's
there is
where the
no
hole in the
catching up.
boat is.
And then they want to go on
Yeah.
to future education and university.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to them at this point after
Exactly.
graduation?
Yeah.
Very-
Exactly. You're always playing catch up then.
And so everybody in the city that is involved in anything, like our mayor, he's on the board with
Very
me.
active
Right.
mayor.
Adam Lorden, great guy.
He is.
And he's in George Ganesh from First Nations.
Yes.
And-
Another wonderful man.
And yes, and so we're all working together to bring in a common cause of getting everybody to read a child a story every night at 7:30, listen to Life Radio, or tune into Tumble Books at the library system. As he was saying,
Okay.
their membership went way up, our audience went way up, everybody wins.
Beautiful.
Right.
And who really wins are the children
I
who
know.
learn to read. And then the community wins because our population is literate.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then, there's more goals as you go on. Elementary school students reading at grade level, every middle school student proficient in math and reading, every graduate is prepared for post-secondary education, and then, it goes on to post-secondary education, and then
has a
everybody has a
ripple
career.
effect.
But they have to
Right.
start at that young age where they're able to absorb information and be able to be great listeners, because children love to have an audience and someone reading to them, talking to them.
And they do. I actually recently, this whole program screams to me because I'm like, I feel like I've seen it, or I already have a sense that this is happening or going on, and whether it was Facebook or where it was that I seen it. But there is a teacher out there who is trying to get her children to read better, right? And she knows the parents are too busy to read to them at home and different things like that. And she is dressing in character. She is videotaping herself reading a story that the children can go online every night and listen and watch their teacher read a story to
Nice.
them
That's really
before they
good.
go to bed.
She's
And I'm
amazing.
like, what a
Good.
clever teacher.
Yes, she is.
You know what I
And
mean?
keen.
Yeah, that's just it. So this is similar along that lines where the kids can tune in.
Yes. Now, we
Right.
have a city bus going all over the city with a big picture on the side saying, read a story to your children.
I've missed that. Is that just new?
Recently,
Okay,
yes,
I
within the
have to
last 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
And the businesses are coming on board, and they have signs in their windows saying, read a story to your children
Right.
every night. And the car salespeople, they're in there with big signs in their window, read a story to your children. Up the road here, there's a big sign that keeps changing its picture all the time.
Right.
Read
Yeah.
a story to your children every night is
And
on
you know
that
what?
sign.
We're talking about literacy and how important literacy is, but it also is that bonding time with you and a child for that one-on-one attention that they may not be able to get in the classroom, because let's face it, one teacher can only handle so many kids and get to them all personally. But if you're able to get that one-on-one with a child at night, especially a parent,
Yeah.
they
It's not
they
just about
love
the
that.
story.
It's about the time with mom or,
Right.
or dad. Or
Yeah.
stepmom or stepdad.
You know what I mean? That's the bonus. That's the gravy on
I
top.
know.
You know
that-
why I'm a preacher?
You're a preacher, okay? I'm a preacher too.
Yes. My grandmother used to read the Bible to me
Oh, good.
before I went to school. I had the Bible read through to me by my grandmother and my mother. I used to say when I'm preaching, I don't know if Goldilocks ever found her slipper, but I do know that Daniel made it out of the lion's den.
And that Rapunzel still has long hair, you think? Right?
Yeah. Oh, for goodness sake.
That's awesome, though.
Well, it put the
Imagine.
stories in my heart as a child.
I know.
And-
Instilled
Yeah.
that.
It's still there. It's still there. And you all remember Goldilocks and
Of
the
course.
Three Bears. And We had one of our dignitaries in the community, Bill Fraser, read that on our radio station not long ago.
Right.
He used to be the Minister of
He
Transportation.
certainly was. He did an awful lot for our community.
Now, are
Did a
you
lot
running
for
into
community.
any issues with regards to what you read or what stories are read? Who picks what? And is there stories out there that they don't want you reading? Just because with
We don't want
everything
any
going
horror
on.
stories.
No, that's just it.
And
And,
the-
and
and
things
the-
that are not deemed acceptable or things
Right.
like that,
Right.
or offensive,
Right,
or
right,
you
right.
know what I mean? Things like that. You're reading
Guidelines.
traditional. Yeah, there must be some guidelines to all
Oh
of that.
yeah, we have guidelines to that. But most children's stories are acceptable
Right.
on radio.
Suitable.
Yes.
Yes.
And the story should be 3 to 5 or 5 to 7 minutes
Oh,
long.
okay.
And
You don't want to go over long.
well,
That's right. You lose them then.
Yes, a child that's only 7 can only listen 7 minutes. You know, we all know that from what we've learned in the past.
True.
And
Right.
but when they get the story and you know you really make it accessible to them, all of a sudden the kid wants to read too. Can I look? And you'll see
Yeah.
you'll see children memorize a story and let on their reading.
Like Audrey said,
No.
it's a domino effect.
Yes.
And I love to read because I'm a very animated person. Can you tell?
Yeah.
So when I read, I put all the inflections in that there should be there and change my voice to a different character. So you want some people, I'm just suggesting that you get some people that are theatrically inclined.
Right.
And have that.
You can hear it in their
Well,
voice.
I love to read, and I think kids respond because I do take on the different voices and
Because
personalities.
there's so much to reading. It's not just reading the words. Because sitting down with trying to think which one,
Yeah.
Reese, who's 17 now, and he always struggled with reading. And it wasn't until I sat down and I'm reading, and he would get so overwhelmed looking at a page that I would take a piece of paper and cover all of the words except for the line that I wanted him to read. I said, you read a paragraph and I'll read one. But I literally had to cover it so that he didn't see everything because all of those words were overwhelming. Number 2, I noticed I'd read the paragraph flowing with meaning, expression.
Yes.
And then he would read word. He'd read the words.
Right.
Just
He wasn't
monotone, you
reading
mean.
to comprehend.
No.
He was reading the words. So there was something missed. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I realized, okay, now what do? We got to go
Right.
back because I'm like, when did that get missed?
They're just words.
Yeah, that they're just
Right.
words. He's not reading it in a flow that he'll understand the story.
Exactly, Audrey. I read in
And I was
church,
like-
and if I don't understand what I'm reading, then what is the use of me reading? Because you have to tell a story.
Exactly.
You can't just rhyme off, like Audrey said, words. Words are words. But you have to have
No.
meaning and understanding of that yourself to present to it.
Now, if you want to get in on this, you have to listen to 96.5.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
On the
96.5 FM.
And or you know, this
Yep.
this program I assume is going all over the province.
And
It's
internationally,
actually international.
Internationally,
YouTube.
you can listen to Life Radio
Okay.
at liferadio.ca. Listen live. And
Okay.
I've heard it in the Philippines,
Oh, you're kidding.
Wonderful.
around the world,
Is there a certain time of day or
all
there's
through
always
the day.
Okay.
But at 7:30
It'll
at
be-
our time,
okay.
that's when the story is read.
That's perfect.
So proud
Thank
of
you
you
so
guys
much for
and your
joining
work.
us today, guys. Definitely John and Rob and
Good job.
sharing this
Thanks for
story and this program that's up and running. And Career
we're going to
2,
read.
I know we're going to read Cradle to Career. Thank you so much for
Yes.
joining us. You can watch us again next week. We'll
Happy
be here.
Easter.
Happy Easter, definitely. Thanks for watching. From all of us here at Have a Chat, have a great day.